What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I know I've been showing you guys a lot of videos on guns and me spraying, so I wanted to show you how they come over from the body man and how I get them. You guys in the business know what this looks like, but to anybody new that's out there that just likes to watch things go through the stages automotive wise, this is a car that we put a new quarter on, and this is how it comes over to the paint shop from the body man. So I'm going to go ahead and prime it. I'm going to show you guys how it looks before I prime it, then I'll prime it and I'll show it to you primed, and then we'll go through this one and show it to you after it's prepped and sprayed. So I wanted to show you a job from start to finish, how I get it and how we do it. So you'll see here the whole doors are off the car. The only way I do them, if we put a quarter on, is to spray the whole uniside, guys. That's the only way I do it. I don't do blends on posts and blends on rockers or any type of spot-ins. I've been doing it like this for a long time, and I've ended up going just as fast to do the whole uniside. And when the body man writes the ticket with the estimator, they go ahead and put on there to R&I everything, and that's the true way you should be doing them. So that's the way I do it. That's the way I've been making the most amount of efficiency and doing it one way all the time, the right way. So stay tuned as I show you this in the stages, and I hope you guys appreciate it. So here's how we get the cars, guys, from the body man. I wanted to show you guys, I never really showed you guys how we get them. So I wanted to show you the first stage of how we get the cars from the body man over to the paint shop. You know, any of you guys that are in the business know what this is, but anybody that's, you know, not in the business, you know, this is where they seam the quarter to the other car, and you got a new OE panel on it. You see here we got all the resistance welds. That's with the nice spot welder. And then it's sectioned right into the side, so we got to do this whole side of this car. So I just wanted you guys to see how we get it, and I'm going to show you here this one going through the job on it. So that's it with the quarter put on it. We're going to be spraying a door, a used door, and doing a blend on the front door. So stay tuned for this one to see this one fully done, guys. Also, we got a spray inside here. So I was telling you, like the last time, how you want it to look just as good as you do on the inside as the outside. So you can see here they got it all nice and ground down, so there's no flaking paint. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut this into on the inside the trunk, and up in here. See, the inside is all treated nice, ground down the right way. So just wanted to show you guys how it's going to look before we get our hands on it. All right, guys, so you see we got the first step of it done, and that's cutting in the inside, making sure you get all those metal areas treated, whether you did the resistance welder all around your window opening there, and then the back part of the inner quarter to the quarter on the outside there where the window is. Well, that's all painted now and all treated. You want to make sure that that all looks factory, guys. So that's all done now. And you know, you see we got the whole interior out. You got to take all that stuff out there so you don't have a chance of burning it. So we take all the seats out, all the windows come out, the back glass, the rear back package tray, all that stuff has to come out. And we got in here all cut in now too. So we got this all cut in now too. See it? All the welds are painted. The inner's done. So that's step one of it. Now we're going to prime the outside, guys. Right now we're cleaning it and scuffing around the uniside, because we got to do the rocker and we got to do the chip guard. It's got the chip guard on it. We got to do that. So we got to do quite a bit to this one. So I wanted to show you this in these stages, guys, of how it goes down once I get the car from start to finish, from primer through base and clear, and the whole stage of prepping and all that stuff. So stay tuned. This will be a good video for you guys to see. We're going to prime it here in a minute, and we'll go from there on. All right, guys, so we got it all wrapped up. And I like to bag these bigger jobs when I'm priming them, especially when I'm doing an area like this, so I don't get anything on the roof or anywhere on the whole car. So we got it all bagged up. I etched bare metal, and we're going to go ahead and prime it. So we're using the P30W on this one, the white, and we're going to be using the SRI Pro with the 1.0 in it. Now some of you guys will say, why are you using a 1.0 tip? And that's what they recommend with this Sherwin primer, guys. They want to put down a nice flat coat, because when you put all that primer on with a heavy peel in it, all you're doing is sanding away half of the primer. By the time you sand it, all the primer is gone, just getting rid of the peel. So they want you to put that primer on with a 1.0, and let me go ahead and do that and show you how it looks. So I'm using a white primer, that way it'll take less material to actually paint this car, guys. So that's one coat, and I'm going to put one coat on the actual Bondo and the bare metal areas, and then I'm going to put 2 coats on the whole quarter panel. That way it's all white when I'm done, and that'll take less material. But you'll see how nice it lays down with that 1.0, and that's recommended by Sherwin-Williams to use for their primer. This primer is, like I said, it's its own animal. It's like I said, my favorite primer I've ever used. It lays down beautiful with the 1.0, and like I said, I went ahead and put 1 coat on the bodywork, and I'm going to put 2 on the whole thing. And you guys can see here where I taped this off. I didn't want to prime that, because the only thing you should put down underneath that urethane is an epoxy. So when I'm done priming this with this urethane at the end, I'm going to go ahead and brush on some epoxy. That way it bonds to that metal strong. That's how they want it to be done on the pinch welds and on the window opening. So we did that, and I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more coats on. And also, for any of you guys new to the Sherwin-Williams, their primer stays shiny, so that way when you block it, you can see what you're doing. But I'm going to go ahead and guide coat this one anyway, because sometimes with the white, it's hard to really see what you're doing. So I'll hit it with guide coat in the end after I put my 3rd coat of primer down on this one, guys. So stay tuned for the last coat, and I'll show it to you all said and done. But you can see how nice that primer is. Beautiful primer. They want it flat, so that way you don't sand half of it off when you're blocking it, because if you put a rough coat of primer on, you got to block it smooth. You're taking all that primer off, and this is a very fast production primer. So one of the reasons they don't want you to do that also is because they don't want to build up too much and have that stuff go a little crazy, because sometimes when you put too much of this stuff on, it'll go a little squirrely on you. But if you use the 1.0, right now I'm not using the AS8 reducer, I have US4, because I know I'm going to have this sit overnight. So let me put this other coat on, guys. So that's the primer, guys, all laid out with 3 coats, and you'll see it'll lay a beautiful, nice flat coat down when this is done. Look how slick that is. But this here will sit overnight, and we'll work on it tomorrow. But I wanted you guys to see how I prep one out from start to finish. So it's primed up now, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the guide coat and show you that all said and done, guys, so hang tight. All right, guys, the primer's set up enough to put the guide coat on it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and dust on a little bit of black. That way you can see what you're doing. I don't usually use guide coat often, only with the white primer, because it's harder to see what you're doing with it. So on the black and the grays, I don't really use it, but on the white I use it just so I know I got everywhere good. And then once you take off all that black, guys, you'll be good to go. It'll show any imperfections to any of you new guys. That's why we use a guide coat. So that way when you sand it, you'll take out the black, you'll see if there's a little dip in it or something like that. And you know, you guys in the business know why we do it. So that's all of it primed up. And just wanted to show you that. And I want to show you this one here I also primed. But look at how nice that primer lays down and stays. That's just the primer, guys. So that's the purpose of that 1.0. It lays it down nice and flat, and that way you're not sanding half the primer off the car. And it puts a lot more mils on than you would expect with that gun. So stay tuned for the next ones, guys.